This is Larry Anderson, Life and Reason. I'm going to do a biographical sketch right now. It's something that I don't want to do. It's something I think someone else should do, but I guess it's something responsible. I don't like tooting my horn, especially when my horn's like half tooted. If I had really been able to toot my horn for the last 40 years, you couldn't shut me up talking about myself. But chronic pain has taught me some humility and stopped me from accomplishing some of the things that I wanted to do in life. Okay, biography. Born in Twin Falls, Idaho in 1953. I'm a junior, Larry Anderson Jr. My mother's name is Retha Anderson. I'm going to let you guess my father's name. I don't think we'll have a cash reward for that one. I had the most incredible childhood. I was so happy in my body and in my mind. I was gifted as a child. I remember in the second grade, I was given sort of the standard tests that they give second graders, and then my IQ was tested by the state of Idaho, and it was really high. And then the federal government actually came in and tested my IQ and asked my parents about putting me in college, because I think I tested across the board second year college levels in the second grade. And my dad, who was a Marine Corps rifle instructor, was, my son's not going anywhere. He's not going to college until he's college age. And my father's a wise man. Very hardworking people, my mom and dad. They are the American dream. They have built an upper middle class life that started out running a janitorial service. Amazing people. I have four siblings, 3 sisters and a brother. 2 of those siblings were adopted, and adoption is a beautiful thing, and I'll get that a little bit later. I was very active in high school politics. I think I've talked to you about that someplace else. I'm not going to go to that. Went to Harvard University as soon as I graduated from high school on a academic scholarship. I had to stay on the dean's list because at that point in time there was no way my parents could have afforded a Harvard education, so I stayed on the dean's list. Graduated with honors in comparative study of religion and philosophy. I was the first student to graduate with honors in the comparative study of religion at a college level at Harvard University. Then I went to Penn State, where I studied with Stanley Rosen, who was my mentor. My mentor at Harvard was Robert Nozick, and he and I became pretty good friends and stayed in touch over the years a little bit. And he died of brain cancer way too young. I went to Penn State because of Stanley Rosen, who I think was the greatest philosopher of the last half of the 20th century. Finished my master's there, then I had some marital difficulties, which I will not get into at all. I was eventually divorced after trying several times not to be there for my kids, and the marriage was seriously flawed, but my children are not. And so I gave up a few things for them. I'll tell you about it. So I left Penn State, returned to Idaho to try to patch up my marriage, and then I was offered the ability to do a PhD in philosophy and a JD in law at Catholic University, which I think I was the first person that they had allowed or offered a joint doctorate program. So I went back and made it to my second year of law school and all but dissertation, and the family thing just collapsed. That's a sad story. I'm not going to go into it. And I left school to go to be with my children and make sure that they were safe. then, at that time in Idaho, I was still in my 20s, and a state senate seat came up, and someone said, I was writing then, I said, well, I'll just write during this time and try to see how my marriage works out, work on my dissertation a little bit, with every intention of going back to school. And then a state senate seat came open. It was a new, weird, federally imposed senate seat, which I eventually got rid of. I actually wrote a constitutional amendment and got rid of the damn thing. So I was a state senator for 3 terms, and in my phone just beeped. I gotta get this thing out here. And in I retired after the end of 3 terms. I was going to go back to finish my PhD and the law degree, but my marriage fell apart. And and that's one of the great disappointments in my life. Although I talked to Stanley Rosen several years after that and asked him, should I come back and finish my degree with him? And see, this is the bragging part. This is where this is why I don't want to say it. But Stanley Rosen, who was the smartest person I've ever known, looked at me and he said, there's no reason to do that. You have the opportunity to write. Just write. He said, and besides, there's no one in this world that can teach you anything except possibly me, which is a monstrously big compliment, and I just was egocentric, but I told you. Kind of warned you. So I've authored 4 or 5 books published. A couple of them are up there. The Order of the Beloved. My pen name is L.D. Anderson, L.D. Anderson. And Underground, Life and Survival in the Russian Black Market is a memoir. The Order of the Beloved is a novel. The Order of the Beloved won a couple of prizes but didn't sell a whole bunch. They're both available on Amazon. We'll post some stuff on the blog so you can buy them if you're so moved. Met and married the love of my life in 1988. Eileen McDevitt, beautiful redheaded woman, is not practicing now, but she was a lawyer, a really fine lawyer, and what can I say? She is, she's the other half of my soul, and I'm alive because of her, and sometimes I'm not very happy about that. Once we were married, I composed some music. I wrote a couple of books. I was edited a journal, a small philosophy journal for Mensa, called Synapse, for a number of years. So I was editing, and then I went to work as an editor for American Thinker. And I was senior editor. I'm senior editor at American Thinker, although I haven't been active for a few years. And I just want to say thanks to Thomas Lisson for his support, the publisher and head honcho of American Thinker. What a wonderful man. And it's up to date. Anything else I need to say about my life? You better hurry because time's wasted and people are shutting it off. No. Okay, I think that's good. I was an Eagle Scout. That's enough.